Begin the news at 1 at the National Assembly, where today's plenary is ongoing, and Nigerians are expecting the announcement of President Bola Tinubu's Ministerial Nominees list. Although there is no confirmation if the list will be read by the President of the Senate today, Senate Leader Opeyemi Bamidele earlier hinted that the upper chambers will receive the list latest today. The Red Chamber has now dissolved into an executive session, and TVC News National Assembly Correspondent Tijesu Adeoye joins us on the news for updates on this development. Tijesu, what is the mood in the National Assembly?
Yes, Abbas said the expectations are high, anxiety is high, and that's because a lot of people expect that the President of the Senate should already have President Bola Tinubu's ministerial list as required by the Constitution. Going by the Constitution, he just has 60 days after his inauguration,
Well, there are pictures from the National Assembly, as we mentioned earlier. The plenary session has now dissolved into an executive session.
The President of the Senate, right now, the Senate is in a closed-door session. They are in an executive session. Immediately, the plenary resumed. After the prayers, the Senate leader called for an executive session, and so the plenary dissolved into that. And so we do not know if that list is going to be announced today, but from what we hear around that, the President of the Senate should already have that list. If he indeed has that list, we do not know, but of course we wait for an official communication from the President of the Senate once they exit the executive session.
And just as it is, Nigerians are actually anticipating that list, and especially following the tweet by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, last night, that he had a productive meeting with the Senate President. So, I mean, Nigerians are really just so expecting, they're anxious to see what the list would hold.
Yes, Mabosade, like I said, the President of the Senate is yet to make any comment on that list. He is yet to either mention if he indeed has that list and who is on the list. So we do not know if that executive session is about them discussing what is on the list, or if indeed it has to do with the ministerial list. We do not know. But the President of the Senate is yet to make any comment on the ministerial list. So we do not know if he has that list, and we do not know who is on that list.
And talk to us about discussions among journalists as people who have covered the National Assembly for quite some time. You've noticed this happen in previous administrations. So what really are the expectations, and what are the thoughts, what are the words among National Assembly correspondents at this time?
Expectations are quite high. Of course, this will be the first time that there's actually a deadline for the President to submit his ministerial list to the National Assembly. Of course, before there was the President was at liberty as at when he deems fit to bring this list, but as required by the Constitution now, he just has 60 days. So that is actually the first, and of course, this will actually be the first time that they will put that law to test. And what journalists here, there's high anticipation here about that list. Of course, this has been the expectation right from last week to this week. Everybody has just been on their toes, expecting the list, looking forward to who will be on that list. Of course, a lot of people have called, for the President, to make his decision and make it right, that he go with the will of the people. And also the President has also assured that his selection will be people that will drive his renewed hope agenda. So with all this in place, journalists are actually looking forward to if this list is actually going to meet, the expectations Nigerians have and what already Mr. President has already told Nigerians.
We know that before now there had been, several rumors out there. Okay, this and that person will be on the list. At other times you hear, oh, those people have been excluded from the list. But all of those are just rumors. And just as a special advisor to the President on communication, special duties, and strategy, Adeoye, like I mentioned earlier in the month, that when the time is right, when the president feels it fits, he would definitely make his list known. And Nigerians are waiting to see what goes on in plenary today. Thank you, Tijesu. We'll be back with you for more once there is updates from the National Assembly.